Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Feel Good Friday. I'm just waiting for the official start time of 8 o'clock or 8 p.m. GMT. It's like UK Standard Time. Um, I've just really working on just being on time a little bit, and just in terms of just setting up, so it's not angsty and what have you. I just jumped on a little bit because I needed to check the framing. Because the way I've got the tablet that clutched in it, I was trying to get the light. But it's not, but it's a beautiful day. Like the sunset is really bright. So if you see me squinting here, like I've been burning something green, I'm not. I'm just well, I'm tired, as you can see from my panda. No. Wait. No, it's not basically. No, it's just a combination of tiredness and beautiful bright sunset and vitamin D, man, and like yeah. So that's the reason behind that. So for those of you that will tune in to catch the playback, say welcome, hello, you're right, love. Thanks for coming. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for me, please, as you're watching. Um, the playlist for the week, yeah, it's in the chat. I've pinned it in the chat. So when you normally see the like normally when you see a YouTube video underneath, you'll see like enable chat replay or something in light grey letters just underneath the video. If you hit that, the first comment is a link to the Feel Good Friday playlist. Just a bunch of feel good tunes that I was feeling this day, like mood music basically. And yeah, so feel because obviously with most social media, if you play you get flagged or whatever. So instead of doing that, not to say that okay, it's like really well known or anything for now, which it's not, but at the same time, trying to get into good habits and what have you. And so everything is everything. Um, yeah, so you can feel free to hit that play along while you're in your vehicle, if you're listening while you're driving home, or if you're listening while you're doing your homework, anything really. Feel free. It's just tunes that I consider a bop in it. So feel free to join in. I can only think of one tune that may have some questionable lyrics in, but um, parents exercise parental advisory. You have the autonomy to do that. And if you hear something that isn't suitable for you, skip the track or turn it off. And I don't need to say no more than that. But I think for the most part, it is. I think it is alright. And today we're going to be. I'll wait until I go live on Insta as well and do like the part one introduction, and then because that would just make the most sense. I am just doing a sort of pre-show rambling, so just see. These are the times now I'd like to be able to play to tune and catch a vibe, and I've got my headphones and I can stick my headphones in, but it's not the same. To be fair, we can look on them and then figure something I peep through something. For those of you that know me, you know exactly what that means. Yeah, something I peep through at here, something like so. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Is I feel good Friday. Blah, 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 blah. No, I can't beatbox. Sad times. All right, give me a minute here. Let me just call live at Instead, I'll be back with you. Well, and well. Welcome, people. It's your big sis Natalie. There, feel good Friday. Friday, not Friday, because we don't speak English grammar. How you doing? Hope you well. How's your week been? So time to just check in. And also we're getting ready for the weekend. And we're going to enjoy that in whatever way that looks like to you. Because some of you might be turning up, some of you might be turning down and getting some well needed rest and recuperation. Whichever way you spend it, I hope you enjoy it. Um, what have I had on? Because it's been a mad week, like as you can see from my panda. That's what I was talking about to YouTube before I jumped on here. Panda, yeah, pure bleaching been going in, man. Going in the lab like a mad scientist, yeah. Some Doctor Strange. So, hoping that your week's been good, being blessed, being productive, and the sort of overarching theme, because I haven't really got one for today because I was in the middle of something before I jumped on, and I jumped on because I was just like, I said I was going to run on Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 for Simiyar. This week's kind of overarching theme is feeling good in the face of foolishness and foolery. And just basically kind of keeping your sense of self, keeping your center, keeping your balance. You know what I mean? So you don't go off and go postal and all these things in macro voice, yeah? Um, so obviously there's times where we don't, there's experiences that we have and situations that we get into where that are outside of our comfort zone. And while it says that you should do things that help you to come out of your comfort zone, etc., etc., um, I think yes, family. I think it's important that while we do come out of our comfort zone for growth purposes, it's also important to understand what our triggers are and understand how we manage and interpret um, the situations and ourselves within them. And I find that being a sparky person, being someone that likes to initiate things, I'm like very much, come on, I want to get going, and forgetting that sometimes it takes people time to process and jump into things, and people are not necessarily as impulsive as I am. So that's it is what it is, and it um but in that it's managing yourself, and I'm a little bit waffly, and that's all right. I need to find myself today. So I think a good way to sort of start is I remember on the first sort of test episode, when I'm a little bit stuck or need guidance myself, there's a book that I use. People are complicated, numbers are simple by a brother called King Simon. So I'm just going to start off with looking at the date, like today's date, and what the numbers for that date kind of resonate with to see what kind of energy I'm dealing with. You get what I mean? To help me to set myself on how I feel positive about the thing, you get me, or how to govern myself. So the date is the 31st, with 3 being a masculine and fire number, and 1 being a masculine and fire number. So when we think of masculine, not necessarily as gender, but as energy, so be quite assertive. So I guess in all things, like be assertive, be secure, be strong in yourself, know that you have a voice, know that you have a right to be listened to. So that's the first thing. And it's interesting because I had a conversation like early this morning where I was expressing something that I was feeling. And I wasn't like histrionics and sort of feminine energy. It was more like, hang on, I'm not sure what's going on here. And some clarity plays, you get me? And so it's quite interesting that that came about. Um, so in the face of unsurety, not being clear, I like to use and utilize numbers. Let's look a bit more into like what the numbers actually mean. So we'll start with three, as it says in the book. Three is a fire number commonly connected to Jupiter. Those connected to three are usually very expressive in many ways, very talkative and full of energy. Um, according to the Nation of Gods and Earths, like 5% teachings and that, number three is the number for understanding, understand or understanding. So like the resonance of today has understanding in it, which again, see how it's mad. I was talking about there's a situation I was unsure about, and I had to basically speak up to seek clarification, and the numbers kind of explained it. All right then. And then let's see for number one individual or individuality, of course, because it's one. Individuals, trailblazers, the one that love to win and dislike losing. Mm, yo, I've taken L's like I can manage taking L's quite well. I'm quite humble in it, so L's don't really um phase me like that. Because like my understanding is you have to sometimes take an L to get to a win. Yeah, not that it's nice when you get to the win directly. But 9 times out of 10, even though you hear people's success stories, they don't normally talk about the L's that they got that paved the way to the W. You get what I mean? But to me, or my understanding of the thing is L's are part of a W, like, and you can't have one without the other, and equal and opposite reactions and all of that. Anyway, I digress. Um, well, let's see. Number one usually works well on their own, or they are always propelled to the top of their field in class. Ah, like all numbers, there is a yin and yang, a positive and negative, a good and bad. Whatever you may identify with, there's always a balance. Although the number one are leaders, they are also very creative, focused, direct, and let me see what it says. Straightforward. So much so that some may have a problem with them, but that's just who they are. Not necessarily any problems. I think the feedback was positive, and sometimes um, it's quite it's quite. Yes, Tally, come true for you too. Yes, sis, thank you for reaching. Sometimes it's important to understand because and check yourself up. Well, am I being too inner? Am I being too aggy? Is it that where people need a bit of time to process and what have you? Because if you find that you're just yammering, and people are just like in a sunken place doing the zombie stare, then you have to check in at yourself and ask questions. But you could be right, but it's good to have that self inquiry first. You get what I'm saying? And that's something that I'm getting better at with my lovely vintage years is checking myself and seeing, right, did I really come correct? Could I come better? You get what I mean? If you see me really fidgeting, yeah, it's just Tuesday man ain't got no brassiere on and aloe vera, yeah, a swing low sweet chariot, yeah. And I'm just wondering, I know on YouTube is all right, but Tuesday there's all the fandanglements at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, I can't tell whether aloe vera is in view. So that's what that is. Yeah. In keeping with transparency and Tuesday it's a masculine day. We are talk with feminine. It's feel good Friday where you want me to screw. Hey, you know what I forgot? After all, when my manners there, bless up. We need to bless up the players. With Palo Santo, considering it's a masculine day, and three is a fire number, and one is a fire number. But you know what? Three and one add up to four. So I would like to see what four, like what's behind the four as well. Just because that might be helpful. You get what I mean? Like you see how it kind of ties in. So nice energy. It's the last day of the month as well. Jenos, it's the last day of the month. Like, children, we are going. Tomorrow is June. Like, not even tomorrow. In a few hours. Like, for us in the UK, what we got? 8, 12. Well, that's 4 hours, isn't it? But in 4 hours, it's June, fam. Hey, behave yourself. 6 months in. Um, are we still in the second quarter? Are we going into the third quarter? No. Well, I'm there, mate. It's the third quarter, Rasta. We have to itch up. No, we have to itch up in our side. But let me just roll through real quick. See how these mad random thoughts be in my head. That's what is inside my head all the time, you know. But it's just that I'm verbalizing it out. I don't know if that's any helpful to anybody, but maybe somebody might hear it and think, Lord God, at least I'm not going mad. I'm not the only one that thinks like that. Get what I'm saying? This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. You get me? Let's see about number 4 though differently. Ooh, so 31, 3 plus 1 equal 4. Yeah. So for the foundation or structure, um, the number 4 is supposed to be structured in the way it's supposed to be structured in what they do. Like the 4 corners of the square, they are to lay the foundation of their life by planning what to do. Because it in this section it's talking about the like 4 as in people kind of thing. Well, I'm just trying to see because I know he's got it in here because I've read it before. So 4 is a feminine number and it's an air element, which again see the balance and the harmony. So you got 3 and 1 that are both fire and masculine, but 4 is feminine and air. Air feeds fire. You see the connections though. Is it sounding a bit woo woo, or are you following along with it? Just in terms of the energy of the day, like that means like yeah, let's get going. And you see how like when I've kind of come into the realization that boom, it's the end of the month, it's like get in touch. It's like time to let's go. This is why my item I've got the dark circles like the panda because that energy was resonating with me even without it really looking upon the numbers till just now. So thanks today I want me I do that. You get me? All right. Boom. Um. Okay. So hold on. Then me I come. Me I come. Wait. You know what? If I don't find it, I would just crack out any. All right. Lesson learned. When you're trying to make a point, yeah, do your research beforehand. So that's the end of that. But coming on through the week, like it just kind of a recapping and looking back over the last 6 months and 2 quarters of the year. Like that's it. It's there, but to actually verbalize it out, it's made me go raw. I don't know. What's your plans for the next quarter, 3 months, or whatever? I need to look on something real quick there, you know. But yeah, well, I think yeah, it would be important at this point. If you're just tuning into the live at this point, yeah. If you look at the top of the comments on YouTube or Instagram, pinned there, or did I pin it? Pinned there should be a um a playlist that you can listen along to. It was just compiled lovingly by myself in terms of Feel Good Friday to just say, yeah, boom, it's Friday. We got to the end of the week together with me edit. Yeah, and we got to the end of the week and we're still alive in one piece. Which and oh, that's what I've got really I really get a trang feeling to do. something, which it can either work or it can not work. Sometimes you just want to put like a positive resonance into the world, in it. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna ask you yeah, to either, if you're in the room with someone, it's getting there and it's kind of shrunk at the moment, but it's reaching. I just have to fling it up for now because you know me, and it you know me, like I'm so not into the woo 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 woo. But if you're in a room with someone that you can have the conversation with, even if they can't talk, maybe energetically the vibration, or if you're with yourself, to do it on your phone, unless you're watching on the phone. But then, like, if you are watching on the phone, either come back or don't be rude and you just get a piece of pen and paper. You must have pen and a scraps of paper in your house, even if it's an envelope. I've got a pencil for them. I don't know why. I like the feeling of pencil, and not when it's sharp, sharp and scratchy. I don't know if you can see that there. I like when it's kind of soft and blunt, and I think it's just a regular like HB pencil. Yeah, I just like the feeling of it on the paper. I find it soothing. What do they call it? ASMR or something something so. You know. So I'd like you to. After that being said, the instructions was in there, like, or the request was in there, is to either get a piece of paper or get your phone if you're not watching on your phone. If you're watching on your phone, I'm just gonna look at you like this. Or if you're in the room with someone, yeah, you can do it with them. I'm gonna get, where is it? The timer, yeah, and I'm gonna set it to a minute. And in a minute, when I say go, I just want you to either say or write down the things that you was grateful for this week. And I just, in a second, I'll give you a countdown. Just like spend a minute in how many days, how many hours, how many minutes, how many seconds of this week. I'm just going to ask you to take, maybe it's something you do already, but if it's not, take 60 seconds with me in a minute to just like write down things that you were grateful for this week, yeah, and just see how many you come up with, you know. All right, hold on. So I'm gonna get the stopwatch. Now is it the timer? Right. Are we ready? Three, two, one, go. 20 seconds. 5 seconds. All right, that was it. I don't know. Checking in with yourself. How many did you come up with? Feel free to drop the answer as a comment. I'd really appreciate it if you did. If you're gonna be one of the people that just breeze along the thing but doesn't really interact, I appreciate the same way. But I would appreciate it more if you did get involved, like, because I'm not here for you to just look at them, because I'm not a pin up like that, and I'm not trying to be. You understand? Like, I'm just being very. I'm just being honest. Anywho, right? So I've got, because I can only write so quickly, but in a minute I've got one, two, three, four, five. And my writing's like a drunken spider. Screenshot that. There was 5 points. Anywho, See, I said I was gonna do it. If you don't know what I was doing, you'll have to catch the playback. It's basically literally just taking a minute, yeah, to write down things that you're grateful for in the week. I'm gonna add to it. I was grateful that I could be like honest in and honest in my vulnerability and insecurity about aloe vera. Aloe vera. And I'm grateful for my twisted sense of humor. And I'm grateful for giggles, Rasta, because I'm funny to my own self inside my own head. Like I can keep myself entertained for a hot minute, blood. And also to add, yeah, if if you're finding that you're needing more things to be grateful for, drop me a comment. If you're the kind of person that you don't want people to know your business and it feels vulnerable and boom baga yaga yaga boom baga yaga yaga, the stuffs. Let's just say the stuffs, they kill the argument, yeah. If you find that kind of person, send me an inbox any like I don't claim to say that I can fix your problems, but the way how my mindset's up in it, it's like Tetris and I like to find things. And sometimes we can't see the wood for the trees. Like sometimes it's like, yeah, but what about this? And it's like, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the first three people I get that inbox me, um, and just like if it's a case of where Natty, I'm struggling to find things that I was grateful for. Like I would say that I am 99.9% confident that I'll be able to help you find one thing that was positive that could be turned around into gratitude, right? And then we move on. As we move, yeah. You know what? Thank you for peppering me out. I love that I do. Like, no, that's something that I do all the time. Like, if I'm on somebody's life, I pepper up the hearts and I absolutely love it. Sometimes that's something I'm grateful for. That gives me the juice. Hold on. Me I go give you a water salute right about now. Even though I'm not advertising them, part of me is Scottish. So I drank in a Scottish brand. So I'll do the Highland fling from the Highland Spring. Who's about that then? Wait a minute, man. I don't choke myself with the foolishness. Wait them man. Voice of judges, that is sweet enough. Voice of mm. Water's raw ping, you know. You know, people say it got no taste. It don't have to have no taste. It's about the sensation. It's about the sensation. And it did just feel like a cascade, just a roll down. Oh yeah, that was lovely. Thanks. We all came from the primordial waters. So and today, so we come from dust. We travel through water. We need to drink water before we turn back to dust. You get me the cycles. Remember, being Wednesday was talking about Gestalt. See the Gestalt there. See the Gestalt's happening all the thing, and so like I'm like a music background and it's like bring it back. We don't come again. So silly. It's Feel Good Friday. I'm not sure if it's a combination of tired, but I can't even blame it on the tired, because I'll be in there doing these choppiness. I like the inner chops is important. That's the medicinal properties right there. For kiddly wings. Unless something pops up. I think it's gonna be a short show this week because, like I said, I'm not prepared and my mind is elsewhere, if I'm truthfully honest. Got a million and one things to do, and they're all like heady stuff, planning, blah blah blah. But I guess what I really wanted to say is just sometimes in the face of Fawkery, just knowing how to keep your head up and just know that when you are challenged, or often when you're the most challenged, is when you're kind of closest to a breakthrough. And it's a conversation that I was having with my sister in last week, where like everything's trying to survive, and good things, bad things, and different things. Everything's trying to survive. I can't remember if I said it on Wednesday, but I'm saying it again anyway. I think it's worth saying. Everything's trying to survive, including foolishness and periphery. You get me? Um, and often, basically, in order for foolishness and let's just call it poo for now, right? For censorship's sake. In order for poo to survive, yeah, good stuff needs to happen less, and it because it's all about balance. So when you're in a low place, when you are feeling like insecure, frustrated, defeated, whatever, that's where boo, as in foolishness and foolery, um, is thriving because that's what it thrives off. You get me? Because it's like a breeding ground, just like I don't know, rotten food is a breeding ground for bacteria. You know, the negative emotions are a breeding ground for poo. So it's but boo usually turns up when you kind of something annoying, negative happens to kind of keep you there, so then you become feed for it. But if you can find the things to be grateful for in that moment, you sort of murk up boo, don't you? Like, because everything's trying to survive. When you can just look at it and go, oh yeah, that's foolishness and periphery, and it's just trying to survive, and that's okay. It's normal. You can then, in that space, find what I believe it's Ayanna Van Zandt calls value in the valley. Like, I think simply put is when you're on your face, yeah, when you're on the ground, you can't go no further. And even if it's some matrix, when you can't actually fall through the ground, even if you fall down through, you're gonna ping back up. And this, I guess that was what I was kind of trying to get to is when you fall down. Sometimes that falling down, like so, even if you do fall through the floor, like sometimes it feels like that. It's that use of negative tension sometimes, like an elastic band. Like imagine if I got an elastic band on my finger, if I just pull it like that and let it go, little piece of paper not gonna go too far. But if I can get that elastic band and literally pull it to the point of where, bro, I think it's gonna bust, better mind my eye, and then ping and let it go. That tension propels the thought, the focus, the goal, the action even further. To get what I mean? So if you have literally fallen down to the point of where you kind of fell through the floor like in the Matrix, and if you haven't seen the Matrix yet, either go and watch it. I think you can probably find it on, I don't know, Amazon now, whichever medium you find, but you can find that movie by now. And if you haven't seen it yet, take something like a yeah, you need to get beat with a slide. You know them flip flop slippers. Yeah, you need to get beat with a flip flop, fam. If you ain't seen the Matrix by now, yeah, I'm going to beat you with a flip flop. I'm sorry, the movie of that playing in my head. Yeah, it's entertaining to me. Oh my god, stupid. Yeah, so But I said that to say this. If you have fallen to the point where you've fallen through the rubber floor like so much, just understand that if you can start to, even from in that place, focus on something, because actually from that place sometimes you have to, in order to get them, you have to focus, you get me? That's when you can use that tension there, that tension to propel yourself, zoop, and go for it. And to be fair, go for it. Look at it. Keep focused. Keep your eye on the prize. Look and don't look back. Because the time you're staying there to look back, whatever or whomever you're looking back on, is it going to be there when you fall down on your face and you're getting beat with a flip flop? Is it really? Is it going to plead? Are they going to plead on your behalf? Like, understand that. And they're going to say, please, Natalie, don't beat them with the flip flop. No, they're not. I'm sorry, that is. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's Feel Good Friday when you want me to ball. What kind of life is this? From my boy. ah, so yeah, basically that was the message. Like, just keep calm in the face of foo. Everything, including foo, is just trying to survive, and use numbers. Like, well, numbers can be used to just help you figure out the foo sometimes and how to navigate it. The book was called Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated by King Simon. I copped it off Amazon, so I'm sure you can too. It's an interesting book. I find it really helpful. And men lie, women lie. Numbers and patterns don't lie. They're just like really honest. So I like that too. And you can see how easy it was to literally spend 60 seconds, 1 minute, one minutia to spend time literally document. And there's something important. Having a conversation about it's nice and it's good, but actual writing it down, it makes it become a physical, tangible thing. And I'm, because when I said people will screenshot, oh, if you talk about that, yeah, no, they won't. I'm not at the point where I've got haters yet. I'm really not, and it's good. And I hope that I'm quite happy that I don't have haters. I, I'm all right. I'm okay with that. Um, yeah, it makes it tangible, a real physical thing. It pulls it out the thought realm into the physical, and now we can move on that still. And just to say, yeah, it's been a challenging week in ways, but as challenging as it may have been, I've managed to keep my center. I found like one of my travels out because of this whole thing about the attacks on black women in Croydon, Thornton Heath, surrounding areas. I haven't heard that the man's been catched or nothing. But a few weeks ago, there was a little sort of something that went around saying that man was out there, and I found myself just constantly scanning, even like as I'm exchanging, like jumping the one bus um at the bus stop. I'm scanning. I find myself like catching places where you can't walk up on me still. But at the same time, that being said, looking at the numbers and doing the gratitude, I'm grateful. Say, yeah, you know what? Because I'm grateful that I am observant, and that's naturally in me anyway. Like even from back in the day, like I will be that you, yeah. When we used to go to the shubs, my Birmingham Massive will know about Peckers, yeah. I let that resonate, yeah. And used to go to certain shubsies, all up H Town, all up them sides, and that some mad random places, yeah. I would always be that girl, yeah, because I like to just go out turn off, drink and smoke at the time, only ganja. And just dance. I used to just love to dance. I weren't interested with catching man or nothing like that because when I'm ready to bust two skank and that, you're gonna be in my way and it leaves me alone. I don't chat fast in my ear. It's like I'm in the tune at the minute. And when I want to bang the speaker box with the tune sweet me or I wanna bang the wall like you're gonna get in the way of it and I don't wanna hurt you kind of thing with my exuberance. So, but I was saying that to say I was always that you that would be like, I'll be up in the cop, but I'd be finding first thing I'm doing anywhere I'm going in, right? That's the entrance I came in. Where's the fire exit? I need to know that shit. And like work out as I'm chilling, I'm working out where does that fire exit come out to? You get what I'm saying? So that way, if anything pops off and man need to splurt, you get me? What I'm gonna be doing going, what's that doing flapping like a headless chicken? No thanks. You get me? Strategizing all the time, even to go to a shops and shock out, you get me? So that's like it's just a natural thing that's in me. And I know there's certain Birmingham buds that's just like that. Like we know we like to figure out where the back streets are that if you need to cut, you get me? If you need to samurai, if you need to chop, you get me? You need to dip out and split and know say, yeah, it's this way. You know what? It's not about being like, the chick in the horror movie that runs and trips over her own foot, even though I'm not gonna lie, like I would trip over my feet. Like that's what would shake me up differently. Cock on the floor. No, but who's gonna do that? Or by the time that Jason walks up on them, that's when you're gonna fall over. No, no, no. Or instead of running at the door, they're gonna run upstairs. What are you gonna do? Fly out the attic? Stupid. You get me? So we always that's always been in me, and I can laugh about it and what have you because actually, as much as people would say to me, you think too much into things, already. I'm just checking how much battery life I've got. You think too much into things, you think too deeply into things. I used to go, is it? Yeah. But then, like, at a time now, which is actually really serious, where a man is going around targeting black women, there was I believe, my understanding is a 13-year-old girl and a woman grandmother age, like, we're throwing acid upon them, and apparently the police know about it, whatever that means or how that helps. Okay, so when the man walks up and dashes acid, he's not gonna. But if he was to walk up and try and dash acid on me, and you know about it, how does that help me in the moment? Anywho, and I ain't heard nothing about it. There was a picture gone around circulated about him, but me not hear nothing about it. But here, what here? We are the stone that the builder refused. We are the before, we are the and the after, and everything come from we and shall has to go through we anyway. So either. I'm just saying, yeah, that natural instinct that's in me, which is one of the things I'm actually grateful for, is there's a saying that's become popular now, but like some of us live this shit, which is stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You get what I mean? So it's just like simple things like making sure that you're prepared, that you do what you can do to feel safe. I usually walk with a bottle of water, so if it's an acid thing, at least it can try and be diluted real fast. You get what I'm saying? Certain things I roll with in my bag. Like I don't understand how you can be carrying around some like this, like with your hand, hold on, like this, yeah, like you, like you're a prize fighter, walking around with your hand like this to show off the fact that your bag's designer and costs like grands or whatever, yeah. And there's no point in having like a grand's bag, yeah, if there's nothing of use in there in an emergency. I ask you this: how many of us has got a first aid qualification or knows first aid? Even, you know what I mean? Like that's something we can do. In as part of safeguarding training, a lot nowadays There's also in our workplaces and stuff, there should be something around terrorism and things like that, terrorist attacks and stuff like that. So we should definitely make inquiries and ask questions about that too, And I think it's just really important because as much as we want to be nurtured and supported and accepted by everyone else, not everyone else thinks like us. And for the people them that do, that's fine. But you have it in you and you have the efficacy to be able to say, right, I'm a big old designer handbag that basically paid somebody a lot of money for me to carry around, what, some lip gloss, some makeup, and and what? You get me? How useful is any of that stuff if you need to defend yourself or look after yourself? You know what I mean? Like, dedicate a bit of that space. So it's not to put a dampener on the things. It's still feel good Friday, and the feeling good come from knowing say you can help yourself wartime. And if you see somebody attacking your sister, listen, self defense here is what? It's a human right. Remember, Google did that one them. Because Gary did that to them. Oh, yeah. So that's that, really. And, you know, I'm going to leave it there. So, feel good Friday. Friday, not Friday. Because we're not dealing with English grammar. Sans woo woo. From the Nurture by Natalie Camp. Your big sister Natalie signing off, saying, drink water, mind your business, so we can walk and live. Peace. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe. It doesn't mean much, or it might not mean much to you, but for people that are trying to generate and create content, um, if you're on the thing where you can see it, there'll be a red button somewhere that says subscribe, or and hit the like button. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. You get me? Um, you're there anyway. It's not gonna cost you nothing. Thanks.